it off for the carry on by Claude Giroux. Giroux holding, gets run in front. Embiid fakes, Embiid down the lane.
Only a three-man rush this time. With pressure put on Wentz, they almost get it from behind. Slings it deep downfield, and it's caught by Aguilar.
What's going on, guys? It's your host of the Most Philly Jim coming at you with another video. So we all heard the news about Chris Long retiring last night when he posted on his social media, posted on Twitter and Instagram, a picture of him holding that red Solo cup up, saying cheers, thanks for a great career, great 11 years for Chris Long. But what I have learned is that Chris Long being removed from the Eagles payroll puts the Eagles at about $28 million in cap space. Well, $28 million at this point in the season, that's still a lot of money to spend. That's more money than a lot of teams have. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and say is Howie Roseman deserves a whole hell of a lot of credit for what he does year in and year out as the Philadelphia Eagles GM crunching these numbers. It's unlike anything I've ever seen, but the guy's a math whiz. The guy really knows what he's doing. Howie Roseman, you deserve a lot of credit. Number two, are the Eagles going to pay Carson Wentz? Well, we very much think that's a possibility. In fact, that's more than likely going to happen. I really wouldn't be surprised if, he gets paid in the next few days, or if they in the next few weeks or whenever. I don't expect it to be very long time. I think if you pay him now, you'll get him cheaper than cheap compared to what these guys are going to be getting paid. And I know I have mentioned that before. I've also mentioned Philadelphia Eagles may have a need for another rotational defensive end. Of course, we have Derek Barnett and we have Brandon Graham in our starting unit. Then you have Sharif Miller and Josh Sweat. And some guys that you're just really not sure about. So you may want to bring in a veteran. You could trade for a guy like Jerry Hughes, like I mentioned. There could be veteran pass rushers on the trade market. Or you could look at a guy like Muhammad Wilkerson. You could bring him in during camp on a one-year deal. You have a lot of room to make these one-year deals like Howie Roseman made a lot of back in 2017. You have a lot of room you can make as many of those as you really want to. It's really up to what Howie Roseman and the Eagles want to do. And then the third thing is, I know this sounds nuts, but do the Eagles want to bring in another corner? I mean, it has been said that the Philadelphia Eagles could be in on Chris Harris Jr., who is in the final year of his contract with the Denver Broncos. They can more than afford his cap hit for this season. And who knows? Maybe they bring him in and they get a lot of good production from him at that corner position. I mean, I really think Chris Harris would do well in Jim Schwartz's scheme defensively. He can cover better than anyone we have. So, I mean, a guy like Chris Harris Jr. may put your defense over the top. The front seven is good. Even the safeties are good. It's just, are we going to get consistency from Ronald Darby, Jalen Mills, or whoever's going to be out there? I mean, Avonte Maddox has shown flashes of being a star in this league. He flies around and makes a lot of plays. But if you could sit here and tell me right now, listen, you got Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby. These are your starting corners. You can make a move and get Chris Harris on this team and let one of these guys go. I would do it. You can give him a draft pick. You can give him any of our young corners, any of them. That includes Sidney Jones, who I believe could have a breakout season this year. And it could end up being a risk trading him. We may trade Sidney Jones and look back on it like we should have never traded this guy. But if you tell me we can get Chris Harris Jr. in this building, smells a lot like 2017. Anyway, guys, these are just my thoughts. The Eagles got a lot of cap space, man. I don't know what we're going to do with it. I don't know if we're going to make a splash trade. I don't know if we're going to make a low-key, sneaky good trade. I don't know if we're going to make a couple more one-year deal signings. I don't know if we're going to just go ahead and say, here you go, Carson. Take us. Take us back. Anyway, guys, with that being said, Carson Wentz is our man. I am out of here. Go Birds.
Damn, you should've never doubted me. The pain and the struggle followed me. My daddy napping that bothered me. And these cold streets made a man of me.